Hello, and I'm John, and this time I hope it's going to work. Just so those of you who didn't come on the walk and talk, it's a really lovely day out there now. Beautiful sunshine, and we had a fantastic walk around some of the historic buildings of Liverpool, and we even went in one of them, where we all enjoyed some cock. I wanted to talk to you a bit about, I was trying to think, is there a theme to what I've got to say? Yes, there is a theme, and the theme, I think, is, one of the things I've been saying all the way through today is it's all very well using technical tools for social media, but you need some content. So I want to talk to you about some of the things that I do, which provide content. And I'm going to start with a video, which I think this time will work.
On the internet, Stephen Fry tweeted about it and thousands logged on to watch it. Strip Pollock reports.
From the village green to your computer screen. In this game, they're counting the runs and keeping a close eye on the hits.
2,350 3 days after I had the idea, Stephen Fry kindly tweeted about it, which sent the whole thing mad. I've had people from America saying how pleased they are to be able to watch this traditional English pastime. There's people in Australia watching in the middle of the night, and we've got people from all over the world looking in on this little corner of England.
The idea was designed to prove what can be done with fast rural broadband.
I think Gray is one of only 3 villages in the country I know of which has got a fast enough internet connection to do this sort of stuff. So let's come here and let's test it.
Oh, well, Patty, and it's 4 runs. Well done.
That takes us to a level of
Entry to the world came from Brenda.
I am entirely sober. No, it takes more than 1 minute to say, oh, yes, that's my friend.
What are we talking? We do double figures before you take her off air, or?
we take your fare after 6.
6, right, okay. Well, there's still a way to go.
It's all about the community event and friends having a good day out together and a bit of fun. I think if you thought, well, if it's not just me grand watching, I'd better be out there, so.
The technology was at the cutting edge, but the same can't be said about some of the cricket. Stuart Pollock, BBC Northwest Tonight, Rain.
Okay, there were some sound issues on that, but hopefully you got the gist of what was going on. So, content. One of the things that we were saying in one of the earlier sessions was, technically it's necessary. It's quite easy to set up things like a Facebook page. And the amount of times I sit there and somebody says, "Oh, we've got a Facebook page," and then I look at it and I say, "Well, would you go there? Is there anything interesting on it?" So, social media, and I think Claire said it earlier on. Social media is just a channel, and it's a channel to get to people. But you need to consider what it is you are communicating to people. One of the things that I'm a firm believer of, and what I'm setting out to prove at the moment, is we need to reduce the geekiness of all this. Most people who use technology use it to have fun. Most of what people do with the likes of Facebook, Twitter, etc., is they exchange photos with friends, they talk to their relatives in distant countries on Skype. One of the biggest activities is watching YouTube videos. And these are not instructional videos, or quality, well-produced videos. These are cats playing pianos, people on skateboards, babies biting people's fingers. This is what people do with the internet these days. And yet, when we try to introduce people to new technologies, we sit them down in centres with ranks of computers, or we lecture them, and they say, "Well, I just don't get it. Where does this fit into my life? It doesn't have any relevance to me." And at the same time, the people who are prepared to sit in drafty church halls doing good work on a cold, windy Wednesday night is dwindling. They're much likely to be at home on Facebook.
Watching lolcats.
Yes, watching lolcats. That's much what I like to do. So, what I did last Easter Monday was, and this was, I've been looking for opportunities for some time now to demonstrate some of the issues around rural broadband. And I won't go into those issues at the moment, but basically the reality is, if you don't know, broadband in most areas of this country is terrible. We fall into the trap of thinking everybody's online these days. If you live in the country, you're probably not. You struggle, you're frustrated. So I went to Ray in Lancashire, which is one of the few rural areas of the country which has a decent broadband infrastructure provided by Lancaster University, and wanted to do an event which would attract attention. says, well, what's going on? Well, we've got a cricket match on Easter Monday. Why don't we do that? And so, therefore, we broadcast something which ended up being called Twicket, which was the first ever online broadcast of a village cricket match. And Stephen Fry tweeted it. Very grateful to him. That got it a lot of attention. Be careful what you wish for. I was very happy for Stephen Fry to tweet about it, but certain things happen when Stephen Fry tweets about something you're doing, like websites fall over, your phone won't stop ringing, your blog post gets featured on the front page of WordPress because it's the most read blog post that day. These are all the things that happen, and so it attracted an awful lot of attention. It attracted the attention of people like Aquila TV, who came to me and said, well, this cricket match you're broadcasting, can we do it for you? And I said, well, one of the things I'm trying to do is to prove that you don't need fancy cameras like that one over there to do this sort of stuff. You know, those are all well and good, but you can do this sort of stuff with the sort of equipment I use, like phones, iPads, webcams. But because it attracted so much attention, I said to them, yeah, well, maybe I do need you on this occasion. And they did a very professional job of doing this. We attracted about 3,000 viewers. We had about 2,000 listeners to a community radio station. It was featured in national newspapers. I was on Radio New Zealand talking about it. But there were also some side effects. I mean, I think we did. I mean, people said to me, I've been campaigning about rural broadband for 15 years, and this is the highest profile event in the UK campaign for rural broadband that has ever happened. So that achieved something on one level. But it also achieved things on another level as well. This is Brenda, who you saw in the video. I didn't know Brenda until the day of the cricket match. I didn't actually know Brenda until the second ball of the match, when she sat down next to me and said, can I have the microphone? I've been told I can commentate. So I gave her the microphone, and she launched into a stream of whimsy. Some commentating about the cricket, interspersed with a lot of village gossip. And actually, after a while, I took the microphone off her and gave it to somebody else, because I thought, we need someone who knows about cricket here. And then I looked at Twitter, and I was being inundated by just saying, bring Brenda back. We want Brenda. And so, you know, Brenda became an internet phenomenon. So much as Alison Mitchell is a BBC cricket commentator. She was on holiday at the time, but came back, watched the videos online, and tweeted what a wonderful thing Brenda is. Brenda doesn't believe any of this, because Brenda's not a particularly online person. You show her all this admiration she's got on Twitter, and she thinks you made it up. I don't think she still quite believes it. But one of the things is that Brenda, and you can see that she's a lady of a certain age, she's now talking to her relatives abroad on Skype, and she'd never touched a computer before this game. But she's been won over to the fact that technology has an important role to play in her life because of this game. We did this game during the Village Scarecrow Festival, which is an annual event, and because the pitch was invaded in the middle of the event by a 15-foot scarecrow, Village Scarecrow Festival achieved its highest ever visitors number last year, because we gave it an audience as part of broadcasting this cricket match. But, and we also did some other interesting things about mixing cultures. I mean, some of these guys from the community radio station were from inner city Birmingham, had never been to a small village before. So we were mixing cultures as well. But, I mean, I think some of the other things we were doing were, these guys who were playing in the game were farmers. People who never thought that technology had a role to play in their lives. But a couple of days after the match, I got phone calls from Radio London and Talk Sport, national radio station. And they both said to me, we want to talk to somebody who played in that. No, they said they want to talk to somebody about that cricket game you broadcast. Fine, when do you want me? Oh, no, we don't want you. We want to talk to somebody who played in the game, about what it was like to be there and play in it. So 2 of the guys appeared on very high-profile radio stations as a result of this. They also told me subsequently that they were being contacted by people on Facebook from Australia, New Zealand, the United States, the Philippines, I think in one case, were contacting them from all over the world saying, oh, hey, I saw you playing cricket on the internet. And again, these are guys who suddenly thought, well, hang on a minute, technology's got a point here. I never thought it would do something, and never have a role to play in my life. So these sort of unexpected consequences led me to sort of formulate a principle which says, as I said before, when we need to bring people online, everybody who's already online is having fun with it. We need to bring people online through a process of having fun. And so I'm trying to take this principle now of the fun that we created during that cricket match and the interest we generated, and I'm now running a project which is funded by Nominet Trust called Celebration 2.0. And it's one of the reasons why I have to dash off in a minute because I'm doing another event. But what I'm doing is I'm going around the country tapping into people who are having fun and helping them use technology to celebrate that fun and then show them how they can use technology themselves to do it. So this was the first event we did, and I did in Sheffield a few weeks ago. It was a Sheffield roller derby. I don't know if anybody knows anything about roller derby, but it's basically groups of women skating around in circles, being violent to each other. I didn't know anything about roller derby before I got involved in this, but it was fun. We live broadcast that, got a wide audience on the web for it, and I've showed them how to broadcast their own matches again in the future. It's about having fun, and it's about using technology, and I think one of the things I firmly believe is that if you do it that way, it sticks. I mean, all the time, I'm coming across people when I do social media surgeries, when I do training courses, you get people who come along and they'll sit down with an ancient laptop that probably they're blowing dust off, and they'll hammer away at the keyboard. They've forgotten their passwords, they don't know what programs to use for things, because they see technology as a chore. It's something I'll do when I really have to use it. I think technology is life enhancing. Certainly since I've embraced technology, it's brought me new friends, it's brought me new interests, it's brought me new work. I think it's a wonderful thing, and I'd like everybody to see technology as enhancing their lives. I think a lot of people don't, and I think the more fun you can have with it, the more it enhances your life. So I'm just going to close that down a minute and just show you. Right, so Celebration 2.0, I've still got plenty of room in my programme for events, so there must be some fun events in Liverpool we can tap into.
We don't have fun here.
No, okay. This is it, okay. Well, we've just been to the pub, so that was fun. Yeah, so,
We'll get connected to some, obviously.
okay. If you're doing a fun event, let me know. Maybe I can come along, we can use some technology, we can help people to use technology to celebrate themselves. So I've got a site at celebration.notice, and notice has got a 0 in it, by the way, .com, and that's got the list of confirmed events, but there's plenty of room on my programme for more events, if you want to add anything into it. Okay, how am I doing for time?
Pretty much that.
Okay, right, I just want to finish. I've been talking to you about fun, and I'm going to end on a low note, I'm afraid. But we've also talked today about disruption. It was my word I gave when we went round and introduced ourselves in the morning. This stuff is disruptive. It changes the way people do things. And one of my missions is to show people how easy it is to do live video streaming. It's very easy. You don't need particularly expensive kit. And particularly if you've got a Wi-Fi connection, more or less anybody can do it. But people don't understand. This guy was live streaming video out of Syria using Bambuser, which is the platform I use to live video stream. He was live video streaming President Assad's troops attacking his village. He was on there for several hours every day, video streaming the attacks that were going on. And on Tuesday, Bambuser put a notice out saying that he had been killed. He had been shelled while he was live video streaming this attack. Within a few hours, other people were using his channel and still live streaming the attacks that were going on. It's not stopped. The Syrian authorities are finding it very difficult to stop these live people coming out of their country of what's going on. So sorry to end on a low note, but I think this stuff is genuinely disruptive. If you look at the Arab Spring, I think it had a big role to play in overthrowing dictators, and I think it will have a big role to play in what happens in Syria. And people know what's going on in Syria because people are getting this stuff out in real time, live. And more people should be doing it. Thank you.